What's up, everybody? This is my Raw Baltimore review for May 23rd, 2016. Raw was in Baltimore, Maryland. After, of course, this was a Raw after Extreme Rules. So, in my opinion, it was a pretty good show. It was way better, 100 times better than last week. Again, it was better because Seth Rollins was on it. Enzo Amore returned. I enjoyed seeing that. Enjoyed hearing him cut his promo where he does his catchphrases, and you can't teach that. That's some awesome, good shit that Enzo does. And Enzo, by the way, the guy is super over with the WWE fans. Anyways, Raw Baltimore. First, I'm going to start it off reading my poll I put up on Twitter asking people to rate tonight's Raw Baltimore. I gave it grades instead of numbers this time. A, B, C, F were the options to vote on. 38% picked that this Raw was an A. That's pretty low. 46% gave it a B. 8% gave it a C. And 8% gave it a F. My opinion, Raw tonight, Raw Baltimore was not a F. But that's just my opinion. And if you think it was, if you hate Raw so much, if you hate all the commercials, if you hate the commentators, JBL and Cole, basically, because I don't got a problem with Byron Saxton, but I don't even got a problem with JBL and Cole. Yes, they're annoying. JBL is 100 times more annoying than Cole. But still, I don't got a problem with the announcers. I mean, JBL can get really irritating sometimes. Tonight, he wasn't that bad. At Extreme Rules, during AJ Roman, JBL was really annoying. The guy was god-awful. But I'm sure he's told to act like that. Anyways, I don't got a problem with the commentators. I mean, I zone out Cole and JBL. I basically block them out. I ignore them, so they don't bother me. I don't hate either of them. So there were the poll results. Now, 46% voted B, 38% picked A, 8% C, 8% F. 24 votes were cast on my poll. Whoever voted on rating tonight's Raw Baltimore, thank you for voting on it. Whoever follows me on Twitter, thank you for following me and liking and favoriting my tweets each and every single Monday night. I really appreciate that. If it wasn't for Twitter and me having followers to interact with, if it wasn't for Twitter, I doubt that I could watch the entire Raw. Because I'd get too bored. I'd probably fall asleep without Twitter. Thank God for Twitter. So here we go with Raw Baltimore. Now it's time to get into the review. The show kicked off with a video package showing Extreme Rules. Seth Rollins making his return, pedigreeing Roman Reigns, holding the championship up. That was a good start. Then Raw kicks off with Seth Rollins' music hitting. Seth Rollins comes out, gets a massive pop. Major pop. A lot of the fans were popping for Seth Rollins. I heard a couple boos, a tiny bit of boos for Rollins, not many. But I sent out a tweet on Twitter. I said, why would you boo Seth Rollins? Stupid. Just stupidity, stupid people booing Seth Rollins in the crowd. I mean, you don't gotta like Seth Rollins. If you're not a fan of him, that's okay. But in my opinion, if you think the guy doesn't have any talent, and he's not great on the mic, and he's not a great heel, and if you think he's not a great wrestler, you're pretty stupid. And you're probably blind if you can't see that Seth Rollins has a lot of fucking talent. Even if you dislike him, you gotta admit he has a lot of talent. And if you don't admit it, well, then you're just a fucking hater. So it kicks off with Seth Rollins cutting a promo, getting on the microphones, acting like he's pretty shocked and surprised. The reaction he was getting. He says to the crowd, damn, it feels good to be back. And he goes, can I talk, guys? Are you going to let me talk? Can I talk now and say a few words? Crowd was marking out. They love seeing Rollins back on Raw. Raw, by the way, Raw is Rollins. So, Seth Rollins talks a little bit more. Talks about his injury. And says, then he starts turning on the crowd, which was great and damn good. He starts saying to the crowd, I thought you wouldn't give me a good ovation because of how I acted in the past with the Authority. And you all before thought I was a weak champion. And then he says, basically, to the crowd, he goes, I'm the one that hit Roman Reigns with the chair and broke up the Shield. That started getting a couple boos. The crowd didn't like hearing that. And I enjoyed the Shield. I was a fan of them, but it was time for them to break up anyway. So I wasn't upset what Rollins did to Reigns. I enjoyed it, actually. And then he starts ripping the fans. Before that, he says, I got a ton of fan mail. And then he goes, but what did I do with all that fan mail? I didn't open one single letter. I threw it all in the trash and burned it. That was great. That was funny as hell. And then after Rollins keeps ripping the crowd, getting a lot of great heel heat, then Roman Reigns, music hits, Roman comes out, gets booed like crazy as usual. I didn't even hear cheers for Roman. I just heard a couple women screaming for him. That's all I heard. I didn't hear any cheers. A couple cougars probably in the crowd screaming for Roman. Anyways, Shane McMahon then. As Roman and Seth are in the ring, Shane McMahon's music hits. He gets a massive, major pop. He comes out and says, what's up, Baltimore? And that gets a pop. And for some reason, a crowd in Baltimore starts chanting at Shane, you still got it, you still got it. He didn't do anything. He just came out. And he had a microphone. Yes, he did put on a pretty okay performance at WrestleMania, but I don't know why you chant you still got it. Made no sense to me, but whatever. That was kind of weird. To chant you still got it for a guy just talking on the microphone, that was weird. Whatever. So then Shane McMahon basically says, Rollins, you want your title rematch. You never lost the championship. You cashed in and beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 31. You never lost the title. You will get your rematch at Money in the Bank 2016. Seth Rollins against the champion Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That match is booked, and it's on the Money in the Bank 2016 show. I'm sure it will be the main event. So I'm glad to hear that. Should be pretty damn entertaining to see Rollins, Reigns go at it one-on-one, because I don't remember seeing them ever go at it in a one-on-one pay-per-view match, ever. They were supposed to before, but Reigns got hurt. He had some stomach abdominal problem or something with his stomach. He needed surgery. He had severe stomach pains, so he needed surgery on something. So then the match did not take place. I believe it was supposed to take place at Night of Champions 2015, I think. Or 2014, I think. Or maybe Hell in a Cell 2014. I really can't remember. Anyways, it wasn't 2014 because it had to be 2015 because that's when Rollins won the title. So it was probably 2015, one of those times they were supposed to face each other. And then again, I think in 2014 they were supposed to face each other, but Reigns got injured and he needed surgery. So that should be a damn good main event. And Money in the Bank, Rollins versus Reigns. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do as a finish. That I'm really curious what the finish will be for that match, because there is no authority. And nobody is going to help Reigns unless they have Triple H return and help Reigns. I mean, have Triple H return and help Rollins, but that'd be pretty stupid because that'd be just like they're bringing the Authority back. And I don't want to see the Authority back. I don't think any fan wants to. It has ran its course. No more Authority, please. Up next, we have a Money in the Bank qualifying match. This was a good episode of Raw. I say that because of all the Money in the Bank qualifying matches they did. It made the show more entertaining. They had like one or two every hour. The first Money in the Bank qualifier, Sami Zayn takes on the Rooster, the cockface, Sheamus. In a Money in the Bank qualifier, Sheamus does an interview backstage. I should call him Rooster instead of giving him respect by calling him Sheamus, but whatever. Not a fan of Sheamus, never will be. Sami Zayn against Sheamus. Sheamus cuts an interview backstage and has a nerve to say, Sami Zayn, you look pretty damn stupid when you come out wearing that stupid looking hat. Well, look at how you fucking look, you pasty, white, pale ass fucking Casper, the friendly ghost looking, ugly ass rooster looking motherfucker. Look how you look. Look at your fucking self in the mirror, rooster face. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell me that you don't look fucking stupid, because you look stupid as fuck, Sheamus. I hope you realize you look stupid, and if you don't, you're fucking blind. Sami Zayn, I really want him to win. I want him in Money in the Bank, in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and I got my wish. Sami Zayn wins, defeats Roosterface. Or Red Rooster 2K16, whatever you want to call him. I call him on Twitter Rooster. Anyways, up next, backstage, we had Apollo Crews being interviewed by Renee Young about his Money in the Bank qualifying match. And then Sheamus, a fucking rooster, sore loser that he is, because he didn't win, the rooster attacks Apollo Crews, beats him up pretty good backstage. And then after that, the rooster probably went back to his fucking hen and joined his family in his playpen. Anyways, up next, we had the New Day come out. They got a major pop, major reaction. They are super over. They came out, they had a birthday cake in the ring. And then they started saying, do you know whose birthday it is? This was kind of stupid to bring it up. That it was Raw 1200, and it was Raw's birthday, whatever. I guess they had to mention it because 1200, that's a damn impressive number. No matter what you think about Monday Night Raw, I think it was better from, I mean, I'm not going back to when it started, but I'm saying 1997 to probably 1997 to 2008, Raw had a pretty damn good run. Much better than this run it's had. But it's getting better in my opinion, because of all the new talent that has been on the show every week. So the New Day mentions happy birthday to Monday Night Raw turning 1200. The 1200th episode was tonight. I had no clue, but now I know. And knowing's half the battle. If you ever watched G.I. Joe cartoon as a kid, they always used to say at the end, they would, some little, I don't know what it was, a little promo, they would go, well, now you know. And then another guy, I think a G.I. Joe, would say back to him, and knowing's half the battle. And then they play G.I. Joe. I don't know why I mention that. I just always think of that when I say now you know. And then in G.I. Joe cartoon, they would say, now knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe song. So New Day has a birthday cake. They go to the outside of the ring. They tease that they're going to throw it in JBL's face. JBL goes, no, cowering like a little fucking cowboy bitch. No, please don't hit me, don't hit me. And then he's saying, go get Byron, go get Byron. As JBL's a fucking bully that can't stop fucking picking on Byron. It's fucking ridiculous, and it's just stupid. It needs to stop. So then they go over to Byron. He's afraid of the cake. He doesn't want to get the cake in the face. And they should have fucking threw it right in JBL's face. If I was New Day, I would have grabbed the cake, fucking bashed it into JBL's face. Because JBL deserved to get the cake. Cole did also, but JBL deserved it more. They should have brought a pie out and threw a fucking pie in JBL's face. That would have been damn funny. So New Day is about teasing they're going to throw a cake in someone's face, and they get attacked by the social fucking outcasts. I didn't know they were still around. I thought they'd be released by now, but no, they haven't been released. And I don't wish Slater, Bo Dallas, or Axel to get released. I don't wish that, but I'm just surprised they haven't been. Anyways, because Sandow was fucking released, and he has more talent in his little pinky than all three left Social Outcast members. Sandow was way more talented than the entire Social Outcast, in my opinion. And he got released. Anyways, New Day up against Social Outcast in a 6-man tag. New Day wins. That wasn't shocking or surprising. I expected it. And thank God they won. Anyways, up next, we had The Miz and Maurice come out. Miz cut a promo that went on too long, way too long. Miz was talking way too long. Anyways, then Cesaro comes out. So it's Miz versus Cesaro. This was a Money in the Bank qualifying match. It was pretty good for what it was. I say it was pretty good because Cesaro was in it. And that guy is a fucking fantastic worker, great wrestler. I've never seen Cesaro have a bad match with anybody. So Cesaro Miz put on a pretty good match. I enjoyed it. Cesaro, thank God, Cesaro wins. That was pretty fucking great. So Cesaro is now in Money in the Bank. That's awesome. Hopefully he wins it. And during this match, Cesaro was hitting a lot of uppercuts. That was damn awesome. It was uppercut city for The Miz. He almost took The Miz's head off his shoulders with those brutal, stiff, vicious uppercuts. Up next, we had Seth Rollins backstage. And Stephanie McMahon showed up by Rollins, started talking to him. And then Stephanie tells Seth, I don't believe this, because I believe Stephanie will turn heel again and join Triple H after Triple H will attack Shane in the summer. Because Stephanie is not going to keep working with Shane, and they're not going to keep getting along as brother and sister. Triple H, I'm sure, will turn on Shane. And Stephanie will turn on her brother. So, Stephanie goes up to Rollins and says, times have changed. I believe she might have mentioned this is a new era. Times have changed. There is no more authority. I can't help you anymore. Stuff like that. And then Rollins goes, oh, it's great to see you, before she said all that to him. And then basically Rollins, when she left, he was just like, okay, whatever, I don't care. Up next, we had another Money in the Bank qualifying match. Apollo Crews, damn good talent, but the guy's been underutilized, in my opinion, and misused. And he's underrated. Apollo Crews taking on Y2J Chris Jericho, and let's decide to put over Jericho because that's a good idea. In my opinion, it was not a good idea. But someone on Twitter did tweet me and say they need a heel in the match because there's a lot of baby faces. I agree with that, so maybe it was the right decision to have Jericho win, but I just feel Apollo Crews kind of got buried by losing to Jericho, especially after Jericho went and fell on thumbtacks last night. The guy was beat up. You could have had Apollo Crews go over because Jericho was beaten to shit. His back was all taped up. His arms were taped up because the guy has probably a couple scars on his back, and he was used as a human pin cushion at the end of the Ambrose Asylum. So Jericho being kind of injured, you should have put over Apollo Crews, but whatever. They didn't. Y2J wins. He's in Money in the Bank with Cesaro and Sami Zayn so far. Up next, we had Renee Young backstage with fucking Rooster Face. Renee interviewed the Rooster, which was lame as hell. Up next, then they came back from commercial. We had Bob Backlund with Darren Young in another video vignette or whatever, video package of Let's Make Darren Young Great Again. I think they're doing this basically to rip on Donald Trump and his slogan, or make fun of it, or capitalize on Donald Trump saying let's make America great again. That's why WWE's doing this with Let's Make Darren Young Great Again. Well, I never knew Darren Young. I never knew him to suck. So why you gotta say let's make him great again? Because in my opinion, Darren Young never sucked. Whatever. He's paired with Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund, I think he's close to 70. The guy's insane. His promos, when he starts screaming, he sounds insane. Like, the guy's a loose cannon. He plays that part very well. Bob Backlund, I've heard from a lot of people that have met him in interviews he's done. Everybody says Bob Backlund is a super nice guy to everybody. And I'm sure he is. But his character, when he starts screaming at Darren Young, that's not only is it funny as hell to me, and I always laugh at it, but Bob Backlund, literally, him playing that character, he really seems insane. And I guess he's playing the part really well, because I believe he's literally insane. So Bob Backlund screaming at Darren Young, I forgot what he screamed at him about. Something about, I don't remember, but it was funny. And then he screams at Darren Young, now do 100 push-ups. That was funny as hell. Darren Young goes, right now? That was funny. Up next, we had Baron Corbin Baron Corbin being interviewed backstage. And Dolph Ziggler shows up, and they go back and forth because they're not done feuding yet. Please end their feud. I'm sick of it. Sick of seeing Ziggler versus Corbin. Please don't have that match at Money in the Bank again, because it's enough already. Next, Big Cash comes out. Colin Cassidy, Big Cash. He comes out, gets a big pop. Enzo Amore's music, when it hits, it instantly gets a pop. So it's Big Cash. He was out alone. I did not expect to see Enzo Amore, but Enzo Amore, I love the guy. Love his promos, love how he talks, love the stuff he comes up with in his promos to say. It's fucking great. Enzo Amore, the guy's not the best wrestler. He's not the biggest. He's not the strongest. He's probably not world championship material. He'll probably never win a world title. But I don't care. The guy is super over on the mic. Promos, he is the best. Enzo Amore is the best fucking talker WWE has on the main roster, in my opinion. He is the best. And he's entertaining as hell. And he has a crowd in the palm of his hand every time he talks. So that rubs off on Big Cash. Enzo being super over is going to rub over and give a rub to Big Cash. So the crowd instantly is going to be over. Big Cash is going to be over with the crowd because of Enzo by his side. It was great to see Enzo Amore back. It was fucking great to see him back at ringside. I don't know if he passed all the concussion tests, but it doesn't really matter. I'm happy he's back on TV. Big Cash, and out come the Dudleys. Bubba Ray against Big Cash, one-on-one. Big Cash wins. I was really happy about that. I like Cash. I like Enzo even more. I hope they get a tag title run soon, or at least in the fall. Next, we had they were promoting Charlotte is coming out. This was, I believe, the start of the third hour. Charlotte is coming out to do the state of the women's division. Charlotte comes out, the champ. The champ is here. The women's champ, Charlotte, is here. Kind of odd that during this segment we had no appearance by Natalya. to bring up her being screwed again by Dana Brooke. Maybe they'll go into a Dana Brooke-Natalya feud. If they do, I hope Natalya beats the crap out of Dana Brooke and defeats her. Charlotte gets on the mic, talks a lot, says she is the greatest champion, that she doesn't need her dad. Then she keeps talking about her dad, Ric Flair, right in front of her. She keeps bringing him up, saying, "You were gone my entire childhood. You were gone for over 30 years. And then her mother is telling her, your dad is gone, but he still loves you and he can't wait to come back and see you," stuff like that. I'm sure growing up, I'm sure Charlotte growing up, I'm sure it wasn't easy. I mean, in the 80s, Ric Flair was on the road over 300, probably over 340 days a year. And the guy worked because he's NWA champ. Especially in the 80s, Ric Flair worked twice on weekends. Twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday. That's pretty insane. The guy's on the road probably maybe 365 days a year. I don't know how long he's on the road. But, I mean, Charlotte, she grew up, I'm sure she had a great childhood because her family was wealthy. And at least she had her mother to raise her. But, I mean, it still had to be hard to grow up with your father not around that much at all. In the late 90s, I'm sure Charlotte got to see her father a lot more. I'll say that. And it's not easy. I mean, my father passed away when I was 9 years old. It's not fun growing up without a father around. It's not fun at all. I wish my father was still alive. He had addiction problems, alcohol problems, and other addiction problems. He smoked marijuana, and he was an alcoholic. But, I don't know, even though he's still an alcoholic, and he did bring me as a child, in my childhood, he did bring me a lot of anger and pain because how he treated my mother. I still wish my father was around today. So, I mean, my father's the one that got me into wrestling. So if he's around today, I'm sure I would be watching WWE with him and the WWE Network with him all the time, and it'd be cool to talk to him about today's current wrestling product. And I had that in common with my father. As a young kid, even though he wasn't a good guy and he was an alcoholic, he still took me to a lot of WWF live events as a kid. So that was awesome that I got to go to a lot of live events as a kid because of my father taking me. Because he was into wrestling and into WWF way before I was. So he got me into watching. Anyways, Charlotte then starts ripping her dad, Ric Flair, saying, "I don't need you anymore. You're an old timer, basically. I don't need you. And you were never there for me. And you weren't there for me for 30 years. And Charlotte, I'm sure she's getting probably emotional inside. But she didn't show it. I'm glad she didn't start crying, because that would have been bad for the promo, for it to work out. Charlotte did great on the mic. She was damn good as a heel. I felt bad for Ric Flair after he had to leave the ring. The guy was crying, wiping away a tear. I felt bad for Ric Flair. Ric Flair is an all-time great. As I said, the guy is in my top 5 of greatest of all time. Ric Flair is a legend, 2-time Hall of Famer. I still felt bad for him, even though I'm sure, Ric Flair's an emotional guy. I'm sure that was real emotion when Charlotte started telling him, "You weren't around me when I was growing up." And then Charlotte, in the beginning, says, "Get out of my ring." And then she yells it twice, saying, "Get out of my ring. This is my ring. I'm better than you ever were." And stuff like that. And then Charlotte goes, oh, she kept making fun of her dad, saying, oh, are you crying? Are you crying now? That was good shit. Charlotte did great work on the microphone. She's a damn good heel. In my opinion, she was damn good on the mic tonight. Charlotte is a great women's champion. And if you think she sucks at talking and promos, I don't think she does. Up next, after Charlotte basically kicked her dad to the curb, up next we had a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Dolph Ziggler put in a Money in the Bank qualifier. I don't know why. He lost last night. Probably should have been Baron Corbin against Dean Ambrose, in my opinion. But I guess they didn't want Corbin to lose to Ambrose. That makes sense. So they put Ziggler in the job to Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose wins. He is also now in Money in the Bank in the ladder match to get the briefcase. Up next, we had Renee Young backstage trying to get an interview and trying to get Ric Flair to say a couple words. Ric Flair comes, he's in the back, he's shown, and then he's by Arn Anderson, his best friend, former Horseman member Arn Anderson. And him and Ric Flair, I'm sure, are still really close, and I'm sure they're best friends still. Arn says, Rick, I'm really, really sorry. I'm really sorry she did that to you. And Arn shakes Rick's hand. That was nice to see Arn Anderson appear on Raw and try to give Ric Flair some comfort. Then Renee Young tries to talk to Rick. He doesn't say a word. He's probably really shook up in shock. He basically mumbles, talks really quietly, says, I got nothing. And then he walks away, leaves the arena. That was pretty damn sad to see. Pretty sad. And the Charlotte talking, ripping her father in the ring, that was a great fucking segment. I really enjoyed it. And it needed to happen. Charlotte telling her dad to hit the brakes, that really needed to happen, in my opinion. But now you got stupid Dana Brooke probably hanging around Charlotte at every pay-per-view and Raw and every SmackDown. And that's just stupid. They're going to probably have to start banning Dana Brooke from Charlotte's championship matches because she's going to replace Ric Flair, I'm pretty sure. So, up next, after Ric Flair will not talk to Renee Young, we have the main event. Is going to start next. AJ Styles' music hits. He comes out, gets a big time pop. Last night, Extreme Rules, AJ put on a great performance against Roman Reigns. Great performance. I wish there wouldn't have been interference, but whatever. And I wish Roman wouldn't have kicked out 500 times like fucking Super Roman, but he did. AJ comes out, talks on the mic, and the first thing he has to say, because they're trying to fucking get over Roman Reigns still, is a babyface. So they have AJ say it, because that will work. I don't think it will work. Roman is still going to get booed in 80% of arenas he's in. Or maybe 75% of the time Roman will be booed. AJ gets on the mic, says, I've been in the ring with a lot of guys, and Roman Reigns is the real deal. He says Roman Reigns is damn good. And I agree, Reigns does have talent, but I'm not a fan of him, or how he's booked, or his move set. Not a fan of it. Not a fan of him as champion either. So then AJ basically just says Roman is damn good to try to get him over as a babyface. That will not work. Out comes the club. Gallows and Anderson. I don't know what they're calling them. I think their team name is the Bloodline, but I could be wrong. I'll just call them Gallows and Anderson. They come out, talk to AJ and say, what are you talking about? Why are you saying that you could have won the title if we didn't take out the Usos, or if the Usos didn't interfere? If we didn't interfere, why are you saying you would have won the title? Then they start saying, AJ, you're saying you didn't need our help, that you didn't want us down there. And AJ says, no, I never wanted your help. I never asked for your help. He goes, "This isn't Japan anymore." And that was a good line. And then Gallus and Anderson go, "If this was Japan," I think it's Anderson talking, goes, "If this was Japan, we wouldn't be drinking together after the show," or he said something like that. And then AJ goes, and then he goes, "What? Are you saying you don't want to be our friends anymore? So I guess we're not friends anymore." And then AJ says back to them, "We're not friends anymore." He goes, "If you feel that way, then get out of my ring." AJ goes, "This is my ring. This is my match. Get out of my ring." That was great. And then Gallus and Anderson basically, they teased it so much. I was really surprised Gallus and Anderson did not interfere and screw AJ. I was really surprised. They're really teasing that pretty damn soon Gallus and Anderson are going to attack AJ. You know that's coming. At least I can see that coming. A fucking Stevie Wonder could see that Gallus and Anderson are going to attack AJ very soon. So then Kevin Owens would come back from a commercial. Kevin Owens comes out. The main event is started. Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles, Money in the Bank qualifier. This is the main event. And I'm glad Roman Reigns was not involved in the main event. Very happy about that. Because it seems like he was every single week before tonight. AJ Owens, very good. Great matchup. Very good main event. I really enjoyed it. Kevin Owens wins. I was not surprised by that. I wanted AJ to win, but AJ just had 2 title shots on pay-per-views. So really, it'd be kind of stupid if AJ won Money in the Bank to get a 3rd title shot whenever he wants. But that is not going to happen because AJ Styles lost. Kevin Owens is now in Money in the Bank. It's Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho. That's 5. I believe 5 guys are in Money in the Bank, and there's 7 spots. The last 2 spots, one of them might go to Finn Balor. I think that one of them might go to Finn Balor after NXT TakeOver on June 8th. That is a week and a half before Money in the Bank. You could have Finn Balor lose to Samoa Joe, then show up on Raw, win a Money in the Bank qualifier, and then Finn Balor might be in Money in the Bank. I think he might be, but I'm not sure. I think it would be a good idea to have Finn Balor in it, but if he's in it, I think he has to win it. Especially if Money in the Bank is his pay-per-view wrestling debut on the main roster, then Finn Balor should win Money in the Bank, in my opinion, if he shows up and wins a qualifying match. Well, I guess if he wins a qualifying, then Finn Balor, that would be his debut. His debut would be, he would have to win a qualifying match. They're probably not going to have him debut then. Or they're not going to have Finn Balor probably in Money in the Bank because he'd have to debut on a Raw to to win the qualifier. But who knows? Maybe they'll have Balor debut on Raw. I don't know. So, Owens wins, Jericho wins, Cesaro wins, Sami Zayn wins, Dean Ambrose wins. They are all in Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank pay-per-view should be pretty damn entertaining. Pretty damn good, especially the Money in the Bank ladder matches. I hope they do a women's Money in the Bank. That needs to happen. The women can do it just as good as the guys. Becky, Sasha, Natalya, I guess throw Dana Brooke in there. Paige. I don't know who else, but you could have Paige, Becky, maybe Naomi or Tamina. Not Tamina. Tamina's pretty old. I don't think she should be in a Money in the Bank because she shouldn't even get an opportunity at a title shot because she's pretty old. But, I don't know, maybe Naomi could be in there and Dana Brooke, and then Becky, Sasha, Paige. So I think that'd be pretty damn good. I I want to see a women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Hopefully everybody out there wants to see one also. But I really want to see one because I'm a big fan of women's wrestling. And treating the women's division like a real women's wrestling division like NXT is treated. Asuka's the champion. She's a badass. And the NXT women's division is booked the absolute right way, like the main roster should be. Anyways, this ends my Raw Baltimore review. Hope you enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter at TNA WWE Guy, also at NXT WWE Guy. It's time to end this review. I'm freaking pretty hot. So, bye for now, everybody. Hope you enjoyed my Raw Baltimore review. Subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitter. Bye for now.